Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, boxing. Now, man, Vladimir Klitschko, man. Former IBF, WBA, WBO champion of the world, was reigning for 11 years until he lost to Tyson Fury in a decision in his home country, and then ultimately getting stopped by Anthony Joshua in the 11th round. And that being said, man, Wladimir Klitschko has weighed in on this Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk situation. You know, Oleksandr Usyk, former undisputed cruiserweight champion, right? He had the IBF, WBO, WBC, and WBA title at cruiserweight. Went up in weight, right? Struggled with Witherspoon for his heavyweight debut, and then struggled even more against Derek Chisora by getting bullied half the fight, but ultimately outpointing Derek Chisora, right? People gave him little to no chance to win this Anthony Joshua fight. And not only did he beat Anthony Joshua, but some say he undressed Anthony Joshua and exposed Anthony Joshua for having fear in his heart, for really pushing the pace in the fight to get a better outcome, right? That winning the fight or stopping Oleksandr Usyk. Now, that being said, man, Wladimir Klitschko weighs in and he says that, you know, when he was coming up, that he took some L's. He was stopped before and he came back to reign for 11 years. And he said that Anthony Joshua will definitely have his reign as heavyweight champion of the world, similar to that of Wladimir Klitschko. And for Oleksandr Usyk, well, Klitschko said, well, he's something special. That's what he said about Usyk. He said he's just something special, but AJ, he can reign for a decade like me. So we're going to get into some quotes, man. Wild stuff from Wladimir Klitschko. a lot of jealousy. Instead of going for his countryman, he's going for Anthony Joshua, and I'm going to prove it by reading these quotes for you guys. Now, my boy says, "We have seen AJ challenge," said Klitschko, according to Sky Sports. "I remember my time. I lost 2 fights within 13 months, in 2003 and 2004, to bounce back to eventually become one of the longest reigning champions. AJ can have his time, absolutely. It's all about how you overcome the challenge." Joshua Ridley issued a statement to his followers advising them that he knows what to do in the second fight. "I watched the fight, analyzed my preparations, and identified my mistakes," Joshua stated. I have learned my lesson. Don't worry about me. My spirit is strong." Klitschko, older brother, former WBC Vitaly Klitschko, was ringside in Usyk's conquest. Right? Wladimir Klitschko, younger brother Klitschko, he said that Usyk made history has made history since 2012. "I watched Usyk winning his gold, and I watched AJ winning his gold," Klitschko said. "Usyk has been undefeated for such a long time, winning all the titles at cruiserweight, and now with the heavyweights. This man is something special." Now, that's what Wladimir Klitschko said, the younger brother. And like I said earlier, you know, when he talks about Anthony Joshua, he talks about Anthony Joshua reigning for similar time frames of Wladimir Klitschko. But when it comes to Usyk, he just said he's something special. He didn't say he's gonna have a good reign. He can bounce back like Anthony Joshua. He just said that he can come back, and he's just something special for Oleksandr Usyk. So that being said, man, I talked about before how Wladimir Klitschko did not really go for Usyk like that. You know, he was MIA during the whole build-up to the Anthony Joshua Usyk situation, and this is a bad look for Wladimir Klitschko because it dispels saltiness. Understand that there's only been 3 Ukrainian heavyweight champions of the world. One was Vitaly Klitschko, older brother, and one was Wladimir Klitschko, that being himself, and then the newest one is Oleksandr Usyk. Now, that being said, man, Usyk is on the road to be a better fighter historically than Wladimir Klitschko if he's on this continuing this road of success and domination in heavyweight division. He was already the first undisputed Ukrainian champion of all time. There's never been a Ukrainian champion who has been undisputed. Oleksandr Usyk was the first. That's just a fact, right? Not only in that, but he has 3 of the 4 titles at the heavyweight division by beating a fighter in their own backyard in Anthony Joshua. Oleksandr Usyk, if he defeats the winner of Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, there's no doubt in my mind that Oleksandr Usyk could be one of the best fighters of all time if he can pull it off with flying colors, right? That being said, man, it's wild to me that Wladimir Klitschko is really going for AJ so hard because, there's no doubt in my mind that Alexander Usyk watched Vladimir dominate the division for so long, and that he was in the headlines in the Ukraine, and how he's such a big deal. I understand that Alexander Usyk doesn't really speak too much English. He only speaks his foreign tongue, his homeland tongue, right? So he's deeply engrossed in the Ukrainian media, the powers that be over there. So that being said, Vladimir is a powerhouse over there, not only because the boxing, but Vitaly Klitschko, the older brother's in politics. So his name's always in the media as well. So that being said, it's only common sense to assume that Alexander Usyk looks up to Wladimir Klitschko. And it must be heartbreaking, man. This is heartbreaking to see one of your idols support a foreigner. It must be heartbreaking, man. And it's really a shame. In my opinion, you can say that Alexander Usyk avenged Wladimir Klitschko by beating Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was the last man to stop Wladimir Klitschko. But instead of Wladimir Klitschko saying, "Thank you for avenging me," what does he do? He spits in his face. He spits in Usyk's face. And he says, "You know what, man? Fuck all that shit. AJ, he's going to have a long reign. You're special, but AJ, he's going to be like me, champ. I got knocked out too. I'm just like AJ. I will stop like AJ too. I lost back-to-back defeats too, just like AJ. He'll be back. You're special, but he'll be back." Usyk has to feel a certain type of way, man. If you guys didn't know, Vitaly Klitschko, Wladimir Klitschko's older brother, was at the fight, right? He actually shook Usyk's hand, and Usyk looked disgusted. He looked disgusted to see the Klitschko brothers. He already came out and said that he didn't get any support from them, and his manager actually came out and said he didn't need no support, and that he's building his own legacy, and how he doesn't need these old guys to really prop him up. The camp already came out, not just Usyk, but his promoter came out and already, basically denounced the Klitschko brothers by saying they're not really needed because Usyk's his own man. So the relationship between the Klitschko brothers and Usyk is not a good one. Now, after the fight with Anthony Joshua, the older brother, the one's in politics, he wanted to take some pictures with Usyk. And they took some pictures together. They're smiling and cheesing. And, Usyk, he's playing the game over there. He really don't like the guys, but the older brother that's in politics, he's going to play his game because, he has connections, governmental connections. So, that being said, the younger brother, the guy who got stopped by Anthony Joshua, Vladimir, he has yet to be found. We haven't seen him really with Usyk for a reason. He don't like him, man. I talked about it before. I talked about it again, man. He does not like Usyk. And, he just confirmed it right here, man. You guys hear the quotes. He's going for Anthony Joshua. He thinks he's going to have a long reign. So, man, that being said, man, it's wild. I heard Klitschko talk about coming back to fight David Haye. David Haye's talking about coming back. A lot of these older fighters are coming back. Mike Tyson fought Holyfield in their comeback fight. Mike Tyson was throwing names around like Lennox Lewis. So, we're going to see how this whole thing plays out. Evander Holyfield just came back and got stopped by Vitor Belfort. That was hard to watch. But, he didn't really get hurt. But that being said, man, hey, man, these fighters can make 100 mil, go quick, 100 million, 10 million. Hey, man, why not? Me personally, I'd do a GoFundMe to make sure these guys don't come back, some of these guys, because some guys are legends and you just don't want to see them hurt, But that being said, man, the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight, that was definitely a good fight, man. I enjoyed that fight a lot. But yeah, man, a lot of these older fighters, the reason why it's important to talk about them is because this is the thing in boxing right now, right? You got celebrity boxing, you got these old guys coming back, these old legends, and this is the atmosphere in the of the public right now, right? These are a million pay-per-view sold, right? $79.99, a million pay-per-view sold. That's over $70 million right there, just off the pay-per-view. This is not about the venues and the replay value, all that stuff. Not about the sponsors. This is easily $100 million fight when they come back, right? So we're gonna see how this whole thing plays back with Klitschko, but I could definitely see him coming back soon. And maybe he wants the AJ rematch. Maybe Klitschko wants the AJ rematch. But it's not really about Klitschko. This is about Oleksandr Usyk and his respect. He's not getting it from the all-time great over there in Ukraine. Definitely the Muhammad Ali of the region, bar none. There's no one close to him in that region. Wladimir, the younger brother. People talk about how Vitaly was better, but Wladimir stayed and got the accolades, right? On paper, Wladimir is better than Vitaly. Vitaly is aggressive and everything, but he didn't stay in boxing long enough to really build. Wladimir was like wine. He just ended his career in some losses, but he stayed in it for so long. He dominated for so long. It can't be denied. It can't be denied. Anyway, man, let me know your thoughts about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Boxing Empire. Peace.